Welcome back, strategists, to our deep dive into Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Today, we are unlocking two of these most profound chapters. Chapter 3, Attack by Stratagem, and Chapter 4, Tactical Dispositions. Prepare to discover the ultimate wisdom of winning without fighting, dismantling your opponent's plan before swords even clash, and then we'll shift to securing your own absolute invincibility, learning how to position yourself to victory become inevitable. Stick with us until the very end as I'll condense the core wisdom of both these chapters into one powerful, unforgettable takeaway. Let's begin. Hi, I'm Leila, and if this is your first time joining our journey through Sun Tzu, The Art of War, welcome. This series is a key part of our Best Book Summaries Club playlist. I highly recommend exploring our introductory video and previous chapters there, especially if you want to understand the foundations of strategic planning and the true costs of conflict. You can find the full playlist linked in the description below and the cards above.
Now let's dive into Chapter 3, Attack by Stratagem. We've laid our plans, understood the costs of war, and learned the importance of speed. But what if there was a way to win without ever engaging in battle? Today, we delve into the very heart of his philosophy, attack by stratagem, or Maogong. This chapter teaches us that the best general is the one who subdues the enemy's army without fighting, captures their cities without siege, and overthrows their state without prolonged warfare. It's about intelligence, influence, and overcoming your adversary without direct confrontation.
Sun Tzu provides a clear hierarchy for the best ways to achieve victory. He states, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. This is his core principle. He then continues, next best is to attack the enemy's plans. Next, to disrupt their alliance. And the fourth is to attack their cities. Let's break down this hierarchy.
Subduing the enemy without fighting. This is the pinnacle of strategic art. It means undermining the enemy's morale, creating dissension in their ranks, and bringing about conditions where they surrender or are forced to retreat on their own. Modern application. In business, this means innovating so profoundly that a competitor cannot keep up, offering a product that renders theirs obsolete, or building customer loyalty that naturally pushes competitors aside. In negotiation, it's about persuading with logic and mutual benefit rather than force. Attacking the enemy's plans. If subduing without a fight isn't possible, your next goal should be to thwart the enemy's strategies and objectives. By disrupting their plans, you leave them disoriented and directionless. Modern application. This could involve identifying weaknesses in a competitor's marketing or product development strategies and then counteracting them. Disrupting their alliances. This refers to preventing enemies from forming alliances or breaking existing ones. An isolated enemy is a weaker one. Modern application. In commerce, this might involve preventing strategic partnerships among competitors, or offering more attractive terms to shared suppliers or distributors. Attacking cities. This is the worst option, seen by Sun Tzu as a last resort. Laying siege to cities is costly, time-consuming, and bloody, leading to immense resource depletion. Modern application. This translates to direct confrontation, price wars, or aggressive marketing campaigns that exhaust both parties. The foundation of attack by stratagem rests on Sun Tzu's most famous quote, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." GB Juji by John Budai. This statement is not merely a cliché, it's a foundational principle. To defeat an enemy without fighting, you must understand their strengths and weaknesses better than they do themselves. Equally, you must have a complete grasp of your own strengths and weaknesses. This level of insight allows you to strike where the enemy least expects it, or even cause them to defeat themselves. There are countless historical and modern examples demonstrating how intelligence and information can overcome brute force. Sun Tzu extensively discusses deception. He states, "All warfare is based on deception. The goal of deception is to mislead the enemy into making mistakes, putting themselves in a vulnerable position or wasting their resources. This includes feigning weakness when you are strong and feigning activity near when you are far. Intelligence gathering is key to successful deception. You must know what the enemy believes, what frightens them, and what will mislead them. In today's world, this means analyzing market intelligence, understanding customer and competitor psychology, and even employing information warfare. The ultimate goal is to control the enemy's mind and maneuver them into the position you desire. Attack by stratagem teaches us that our most potent weapon is not military might, but our intelligence and insight. To apply these principles in your daily life, whether in business, relationships, or personal goals, seek victories without direct conflict. Is there a way to achieve your goals that avoids direct confrontation and immense energy expenditure? Instead of fighting, think about ways to persuade or create favorable conditions. Target the opponent's plans. Instead of directly attacking a person or problem, try to identify and neutralize the plans, assumptions, or systems that lead to that problem. Invest in deep understanding. Take the time to fully know yourself and understand your adversaries, competitors, challenges, in detail. Information is power. Employ intelligent deception, ethically. This isn't about lying, but about managing perceptions and using tactics that guide your opponent where you want them to go without them realizing it. This concludes our deep dive into Chapter 3, Attack by Stratagem, a powerful lesson on how intelligence and strategy can overcome brute force. And remember, 100 victories in 100 battles is not the pinnacle of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the pinnacle of skill.
If you are finding these strategic insights valuable, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more powerful wisdom. We mastered planning, understood the costs of war, and even learned how to win without fighting. But what happens when direct conflict is inevitable? Now we delve into Chapter 4 of our journey through Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Tactical Dispositions or Junshin. This chapter reveals the core principle of strategic defense. Make yourself invincible first, then waiting for the enemy to expose their weaknesses.
Sun Tzu teaches that while we can make ourselves immune to defeat, we cannot guarantee victory, as victory depends on the enemy's mistakes. It's about building an unshakable foundation and then striking at the opportune moment. Sun Tzu begins this chapter with a profound statement. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. This is the fundamental philosophy of tactical dispositions. It's not about aggression, it's about self-preservation. You must first ensure your own invulnerability before even thinking about attacking. How do you achieve this invincibility? Sun Tzu suggests that it comes from defense. By making your defenses impenetrable, your position unassailable, and your resources secure, you become unconquerable. This means strengthening your core capabilities, ensuring your team, your products, and your systems are robust, securing your resources, protecting your financial, human, and intellectual capital, maintaining a strong foundation, building a solid infrastructure that can withstand shocks. Modern application. In business, this means having a strong financial reserve, a solid brand reputation, robust cybersecurity, and a well-trained, loyal workforce. Before aggressively expanding or launching a new product, ensure your core business is stable and well defended against potential risks or competitors. While you can make yourself immune to defeat, Sun Tzu states you cannot guarantee victory. Why? Because victory depends on the enemy exposing their own weaknesses. He says, one's own invincibility depends on oneself, the enemy's vulnerability on himself. You can only win when the enemy makes a mistake or presents an opening. This concept shifts the focus from aggressive offense to patient opportunism. Your role is not to force a win, but to observe diligently. Constantly monitor the environment and your competitors. Identify vulnerabilities. Spot the cracks in the enemy's armor, their errors, or their overextensions. Strike decisively. Once an opening appears, act swiftly and powerfully, leveraging the advantage. Modern application. This means constantly monitoring market trends, competitor strategies, and customer feedback. When a competitor launches a flawed product, faces a PR crisis, or overlooks an emerging market segment, that's your window of opportunity to strike with a superior offering or a well-timed marketing campaign. How do you know when you've achieved invincibility or identified an enemy's weakness? Through measurement and comparison. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of estimation, calculation, and comparison to assess strengths and weaknesses. The victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and then looks for victory. This means knowing your metrics, quantifying your own capabilities and resources, benchmarking against competitors, understanding where you stand relative to others. Strategic foresight. Using data to predict outcomes and make informed decisions. The victorious strategist calculates victory before the battle, based on a clear understanding of comparative strengths and weaknesses. The doomed to defeat fights blindly, hoping for a win without proper assessment. Chapter 4. Tactical Dispositions offers profound lessons for any endeavor. It shifts our mindset from aggressive confrontation to strategic self-fortification and opportunistic striking.
And finally, the ultimate combined lesson from chapter 3 and 4. The true master of a strategy wins without fighting, ensuring invincibility through superior planning and unassailable positioning. As we conclude these two pivotal chapters, attacked by stratagem and tactical dispositions, the combined wisdom of Sun Tzu becomes undeniably clear. If you found these insights valuable in mastering strategic advantage and securing your position and haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel for the next chapter in the Art of War series. And of course, share this video with anyone who seeks to sharpen their strategic mind. Till the next, stay in peace.